beat your ass and I'm gonna beat Gervonta Love ass. On my mama, I'm gonna beat both your ass. On my mama. And he laughing. He laughing.
What are you talking about? What does he have to do with this?
Let anything. You know what I'm talking about. Let anything. No, I don't have to say it right now.
I don't understand that.
Don't worry about it. I don't got to say it up here. Let anything happen. And I'm going to show you and him.
What? Like what? Like what?
It begs the question, Tank. It begs the question, Tank. How was your training for him? I mean, now you're fighting a bigger guy. Obviously, this is like...
Let's be honest. Tank Davis wasn't just another name in boxing. He was a force everyone feared. Known for his brutal knockout power and his ability to end fights in the blink of an eye, Tank built a reputation as one of the most dangerous finishers in the game. Every time he stepped into the ring, fans expected fireworks and opponents braced for impact. His highlights didn't just go viral. They reminded everyone why he was considered one of the most ruthless fighters in modern boxing, a man who didn't just win fights, but took over them.
This is happening and you're about to get into the ring with Jake Paul.
I'm definitely excited. I think it's going to be good. He been in the gym and he been boxing for a little minute now, so he been taking it serious. So we just got to see what he bring come when we fighting.
November 14th.
Yeah, November.
He's stupid as fuck.
This wasn't your average boxing press conference. When Gervonta, Tank Davis, and Jake Paul sat down face-to-face under the blinding lights, the atmosphere changed instantly. What started as a calm exchange turned into pure electricity, tense, loud, and on the verge of chaos. You could feel the energy in the air, like the whole room was holding its breath. On one side sat a 3-division world champion, a fighter with real knockout power and legacy behind his name. On the other sat a YouTuber-turned-boxer who's made a career out of shocking the world and proving doubters wrong. Their eyes locked, neither man blinking, neither backing off. Every second felt heavier than the last, and it looked like all that talk might explode into punches right then and there. Security had to jump in fast, and even then, it felt like the first round could have started on that stage before the cameras stopped rolling.
Fight for Jake. Gervonta's technical expertise, his speed, his precision, the fact that he's a counter striker are dangerous facts that make me think that Jake's really got to lock in for this one. On the contrary, if Gervonta feels a couple big Jake Paul shots, it's going to be detrimental.
I think this is going to be one of those ones that gets a real good racial split. I think it's going to be some real black versus white shit, dude.
This fight isn't about proving who's the best anymore. It's about the money, plain and simple. And that's exactly why so many fans are frustrated. Facing Jake Paul doesn't push Tank Davis forward. It doesn't add to his legacy or his standing among the greats. If anything, it puts everything he's built on the line. For a fighter who's spent years earning respect through blood, sweat, and knockouts, stepping into the ring with a YouTuber feels like a gamble that could cost him his reputation. One bad night, one surprise punch, and everything Tank has worked for could crumble in front of millions watching around the world.
Roach walked away with his stock rising, while Tank's aura of invincibility cracked. Now, instead of giving Roach the rematch the fans were demanding, Tank sidestepped that smoke completely. He walked away from redemption and decided to fight Jake Paul instead, a YouTuber. Let that sink in.
When you walk into the ring, how much you think you'll weigh?
When I walk in the ring?
Yeah.
With or without the ankle monitor on?
That's corny. That's super corny. I don't know how much I weigh.
And the handcuffs too.
Huh? What are you talking about, fam? That outfit is trash. For real. That outfit is garbage.
Thank
that hairstyle. Anybody that ever rocked a mohawk is a fucking clown. We all know this. Name
You want to see clowns? You want to see clowns? Gervonta, you're the fucking clown, buddy. Any man who puts his hands on a woman is the clown.
If I put my hands on females or anything like that, right? You see how when I don't even want to bring up nobody thing, what's the name about that? But P. Diddy, when things got like that, it was mad females coming out, right? So if I hit a female, right, wouldn't it be mad other females? Like I ain't been just with one female. Like I'm 30 years old. No.
Okay.
Then came Lamont Roach, the moment everything changed. Hardly anyone believed Roach would be more than a stepping stone for Tank Davis, but when the bell rang, the story flipped. Roach didn't just show up. He fought like a man with nothing to lose and everything to prove. Round after round, he pushed Tank in ways no one had before, landing clean shots, standing his ground, and making the champion look human. When the final bell rang, the judges called it a draw, but most fans saw it differently. The crowd buzzed with disbelief. Tank's aura of untouchable power had finally cracked. Roach's reputation skyrocketed overnight, while Tank's confidence seemed to take a hit. And instead of stepping back into the ring for the rematch everyone wanted, Tank chose to walk away from that unfinished business. He dodged the smoke, skipped the redemption, and shocked the world by signing to fight Jake Paul, a YouTuber. Just think about that.
95 pounds for this exhibition. The fight will be contested over 10 3-minute rounds. The fight is 195 pounds, Tank, as you know. The fight will be contested over 10 3-minute rounds, and when Tank and Jake enter the squared circle to go to battle, they will be wearing 12-ounce gloves. Sitting ringside will be 3 commission-approved world-class professional judges that will score every round to ensure there's a decisive outcome for the fight if it goes the distance. And both men are enrolled in the highest level of testing with USADA. So Tank, Jake, thank you for doing this. Thank you for giving boxing another massive moment, headlined by yourselves, featuring multiple world title fights. But come Friday, November 14th, only one of you will have your hand raised and walk away with the W. The question is, will it be a W rendered by 3 judges or a W by stoppage? May the best fighter win. Thank you.
Here's the real problem, the weight. Tank Davis is a natural lightweight, sitting comfortably around 135 pounds. That's his zone, his battlefield. Jake Paul, on the other hand, fights around 195 pounds, a massive difference of nearly 60 pounds. That's not just 1 or 2 divisions apart. That's 6 whole weight classes. In boxing terms, that's like sending a lion to fight a bear. Jake walks around like a solid heavyweight, powerful, broad, and built for heavy shots. Tank might be faster, sharper, and more skilled, but physics doesn't lie. When you're giving up that much size and strength, every punch carries a different kind of danger.
Bro, that's a fucking disgrace of a fight. Yeah. You know it. Just like the Mike Tyson low-key was a disgrace, but we accepted it. But yeah, he was 60 years old. I mean, the casuals don't see the weight difference. They see Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis. Yeah. And if Gervonta Davis doesn't fuck up Jake Paul, they're gonna think Jake Paul is some pound-for-pound champion type of fighter. Yeah. Gervonta Davis he's actually really small. Like when I fought him, like, he's small. Yeah. So I just think it's a very unfair fight.
Hardcore boxing fans understand how much weight difference matters. It can decide the outcome before the first punch is even thrown. But let's be real, most casual viewers don't care about that. They're not thinking about weight classes, reach, or natural divisions. All they see is Tank Davis, one of the most dangerous boxers on the planet, stepping into the ring with Jake Paul, the YouTuber who keeps defying expectations. So if Jake somehow pulls off the win, nobody's going to say, well, Tank was too small. They'll just see the headline, a YouTuber just beat one of boxing's best. That's the kind of narrative that can follow a fighter forever. No context, no excuses, just a stain on his legacy that fans and critics will never let go of.
Tank Davis fight got moved to Miami.
I think Jake wins.
Jake's just so big, dude.
I think Jake wins.
This is different because it's similar. It's similar to Logan versus Mayweather, but
Jake has better boxing.
now obviously is way more advanced than where Logan was at that moment in time.
I mean, it's just fucking sick.
I mean, yeah, no, but dude,
Did
Jake,
you ever watch his highlights?
Jake can
He's
crack,
nasty,
man.
He's so sick. I love that guy, bro.
That's the nightmare scenario for Tank Davis. A loss here wouldn't just hurt his record. It would shake the entire sport. If a YouTuber beats one of boxing's most feared champions, the whole game starts to look like a circus act. It would blur the line between elite fighters and entertainers, turning years of hard-earned respect into a meme overnight. But for Jake Paul, this is the dream. This is the moment he's been chasing since the first time he laced up gloves. The chance to stand toe-to-toe with a real champion and prove he's more than just internet hype. For Jake, this isn't just another fight. It's validation, legacy, and the ultimate way to silence every critic who ever said he didn't belong in boxing.
Nah, they'll never give me credit until I have the world championship belt, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. You know, but belts collect dust, and what I've done in the sport is unprecedented. Never will be replicated, and done it in such a short amount of time, just getting warmed up. They're not going to give me credit, but I don't need the credit from these bozos, to be honest. The credit's in my bank account.
Jake Paul has been chasing respect since the first day he stepped into a boxing gym. From the start, people called him a sideshow, a YouTuber playing pretend in a sport built on sweat and sacrifice. But instead of backing down, he doubled down. He fought former UFC stars, he took on Tommy Fury, and he turned himself into one of the biggest pay-per-view attractions in combat sports. Love him or hate him, Jake learned how to sell a fight and how to survive in the ring. Still, there's one thing he's never been able to get: true boxing credibility. He wants to stand shoulder to shoulder with real champions, not influencers or ex-fighters from other sports. That's why fighting Gervonta Tank Davis means everything to him. This isn't just another payday or publicity stunt. This is Jake's shot to prove he actually belongs in the world of real boxing.
Gervonta Davis just posted that he would beat the brakes off of you if you guys fight.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be down. Let's run it. Like, I'll be super, super down. I don't know if
Gervonta needs Jake Paul. Let's be clear, right?
Is there a height limit in boxing?
That's why so many boxing purists are furious, because this fight isn't just risky, it's reckless. Tank doesn't need Jake. He needs fights against guys.
Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, or even that unfinished business with Lamont Roach. Those are the kinds of fights that could truly define Tank Davis's legacy. Those matchups are what real boxing fans dream about. They're the fights that test greatness against greatness, the kind that build history, not headlines. Facing guys like that would remind everyone why Tank was once considered untouchable, why he was feared every time he stepped through the ropes. But instead of chasing those legacy fights, he's stepping into the spotlight for a different kind of show. One built on hype, controversy, and massive pay-per-view numbers.
Nope. $5,000 to show up, $5,000 to win, $5,000 for best in show.
Yeah, like,
hell no.
Yeah. Well, that's the guys coming out.
Yeah. I know, but I'm just saying that's how it is in UFC too.
Yeah,
They might get a little more money, but they be same thing, like 20,000.
Yeah.
So they fighting that off to get that bonus. Boxers, man, win, lose, draw. We getting X amount that's on that contract.
Yes.
And that's it.
Instead, Tank Davis is chasing the money. And look, it's understandable. Boxing has always had that side to it. Even Floyd Mayweather, the greatest of his era, played the game this way. Floyd turned boxing into a business like no one else, turning fights into massive pay-per-view events and stacking fortunes along the way. Tank is following in those footsteps, prioritizing the big payday over the legacy-defining battles that hardcore fans crave. It's a move that makes sense financially, but from a legacy standpoint, it's a gamble that could change how history remembers him.
Holy shit, Jake Paul versus Tank Davis is actually happening. What the f is going on? I guess Tank is going broke because that's the only justifiable reason you ruin your legacy against a guy like Jake Paul. And yes, I do think Jake Paul is going to win. Tank Davis is a much better boxer and has crazy power, but he's 5'5", 130. That power is not going to carry over against someone who is 6'1", 210. And it's not like Jake is bad. Yes, his fights are boring. He says he's gonna step in the ring and sleep his opponents, but the only people who end up sleeping are the audience. Mike Tyson fight. But at the end of the day, he's a big guy with power who's training boxing full time, and he has beaten some legitimate competition. Woodley, Nate Diaz, Anderson Silva, Mike Perry had a competitive fight with Tommy Fury, but it's crazy how particular Jake has to be when selecting his opponents. They have to have enough clout to be interesting, enough skill to be taken seriously as a threat, but at the same time have clear weaknesses and disadvantages that Jake and his team can exploit to win. Now that he's fighting an elite boxer, he has to fight someone 7 weight classes down. I mean, Tank could win if he makes Jake do a very aggressive weight cut, but I just don't see that happening. I got Jake by 3rd round TKO. He should put me on the co-main event and allow me to fight Francis Ngannou. That would be an easy 1st round knockout for myself.
But the bigger story here is that Tank Davis is starting to mirror Floyd Mayweather more than anyone expected, not just in the way he fights, but in the way he thinks. Floyd didn't just dominate in the ring. He built a brand around control, choosing his opponents, maximizing paydays, and ultimately putting money first once his name was secure. Tank seems to be walking a similar path. He's becoming the kind of fighter who picks his battles carefully, chases the biggest opportunities for cash, and lets legacy take a backseat to financial gain. It's a shift that hardcore fans notice immediately, even if casual viewers just see it as another high-profile matchup.
Crazy that everybody keep asking me, why you not coming back to fight? Why you not coming back to fight? So I look at the fight game, I said, okay. I said, you know, fighters fighting, they make 3 million, 4 million, 6 million, 7 million. Some may make 10 or 20 million, but I'm doing exhibitions and I'm making 20, 25 million, 100 million for exhibitions. So why would I come back and fight and get a guaranteed 35 million when I'm doing exhibitions and getting 100 million?
Tank is following that same path, but he's doing it much earlier in his career. Instead of chasing fights that would solidify his place in boxing history, he's choosing matchups that guarantee big paydays. Whether fans approve or not, that's the reality of the sport today. Boxing has become a business first and a sport second. Legacy matters less than ticket sales, social media buzz, and pay-per-view numbers. For fighters like Tank, the balance between glory and money is always in play, and right now, the scales are tipping toward profit over permanence.
He'll fight Jake Paul instead. What do you think of that?
I think that's terrible.
Why?
I mean, I get it, because at the end of the day, it's the money business, and you want to make the most money, but from what I'm hearing, he can make more money in a fight with me, and if that's the case, why not fight me?
Sure. Do you think he beats Jake Paul?
Do I think he beats Jake? Yeah. I mean,
there's a huge size advantage, though.
It is, but I think Tank got the skills to make sure he come out on top.
Do you think that Jake has gone better?
Yeah, I think actually Jake got tremendously better from the time frame that he started till now. And in the right situation, I also could see him become a world champion.
Really?
Yeah.
Jake Paul has been chasing respect since the first day he stepped into a boxing gym. From the start, people called him a sideshow, a YouTuber playing pretend in a sport built on sweat and sacrifice. But instead of backing down, he doubled down. He fought former UFC stars, he took on Tommy Fury, and he turned himself into one of the biggest pay-per-view attractions in combat sports. Love him or hate him, Jake learned how to sell a fight and how to survive in the ring. Still, there's one thing he's never been able to get: true boxing credibility. He wants to stand shoulder to shoulder with real champions, not influencers or ex-fighters from other sports. That's why fighting Gervonta Tank Davis means everything to him. This isn't just another payday or publicity stunt. This is Jake's shot to prove he actually belongs in the world of real boxing.
Oh, I don't even understand why the fight is happening.
That sounds like an excuse to me. People, Jake always gets a hard time, for not fighting the best and top guys. And here he's fighting a current world champion, a pound for pound guy, and, obviously showing he's take on all comers.
Pound for pound guy. I don't think that neither one of them are going to prove anything. I think that it's going to be an exhibition. So, and being that it's an exhibition, that means that nothing's going to happen anyway. It's different if it was a fight in which somebody's going to win. It's different. I mean, it's like It's one of those situations where it just doesn't make sense to anybody that's a real boxing fan. It doesn't make sense at all.
Mike Perry went even deeper, saying Tank isn't the